Zach Life, Beat Depression. It's day 223. And you're coming at you live from quarantine in Kearney, New Jersey. This is the first official Keeping It Real, Stayin Alive edition. And this is a show where we're going to create positive social support, new connections, as we collaborate with people in the mental health field and the fitness field. So every single show is going to be open to you guys as viewers for questions, for interaction. And every single show is going to end with a positive mental health tool that you can take home with you and take along in your journey as we wipe depression out from the face of the planet together with Zach Life. So that's the aim of the show. And each show we're going to have a special guest. As we wait for our first guest, I'll let you know it's going to be Holistic Chris. And hopefully she'll be here any moment. Won't leave me hanging out here. And maybe we'll get a few viewers in. Who knows? But for anyone who's tuning in later as we wait, I'll just let you know, if you haven't seen any of this Sack Life content before, my name's Tim Manthe. I'm the creator of Sackman and Sack Life Official. And what we're doing out here is we're wiping depression out from the face of the planet. I've made a personal dedication to train in boxing every single day until depression is wiped out from society. It's been a very powerful tool in my life, in my personal journey, overcoming depression and anxiety and situations that I faced. This bag behind me has gotten me to a point now where those external things that happen around us, they don't have that effect anymore. You still, as someone who's recovered from depression or recovering, because it's never fully gone, we all have a level of depression. You're always going to have challenges. You're always going to have things that happen that get you down. And the difference is when you've recovered from clinical depression, you don't stay down. You bounce back. So Holistic Chris has made it. You made it. Thank you so much for being here. And welcome to the first live edition. We're calling it Stayin Alive with the Keeping It Real series from Sack Life Official. And if you'd like, pop on, hit that join button, and we'll get this thing started. There it is. All right. Go. Let's see how this comes out. This is the first time. The split's looking good.
Man.
What's up, Holistic Chris? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I feel wonderful.
So you can see me.
Got a good amount of sleep last night. The sun is out now. It was crazy. There was a crazy storm earlier today, but it's gone and everything's just beautiful out there. So how about you? How you doing?
I'm good. I love storms, actually.
I like falling asleep to storms. That's one of my favorite parts about storms.
I love that too. But there's something, I don't know, for me exciting about thunder and lightning in the moment.
It's exciting, but also calming somehow. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love the sound of rain. I love the sound of rain.
Oh, yeah. They've got a lot of good apps on the Play Store for rain noises, if you're looking for something. So, but thank you for being on the show and being our first official guest on this Keeping It Real segment.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And just so the people know who are tuning in now, tell us what it is that you do.
Okay. So I am an emotional wellness coach. Essentially what I do is I help women get to the unhealed emotional root of their anxiety. So we dig deeper to find out where it's coming from. And then we shed the layers of bullshit conditioning they've been taught their entire lives to get to the core of who they really are, so they can just express themselves as who they're meant to be in this world and create things and make a positive impact in the world, because you can't do that if you have all these unhealed layers over the core of who you are. Also, if the emotions are unhealed, they're just going to come back with vengeance later and We don't want that. So I help you feel those feelings and be comfortable with feeling them and to not allow them to take over your life.
And is that just for women? Is it for specific women, or is it for everyone? What's your audience like?
My audience is the sensitive women, the ones who are people pleasers, the ones who are always inside their head. So I help you get out of your head and get more into your heart.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not a woman, but thank you for
You know,
for this.
I'm open to working with men if they're willing.
Yeah, I mean,
Susanna,
you could teach me something that can help me along my journey. I'm 100% down. I'm always open to new things, try new things.
I know that's what I love about you.
Thanks. Also, one of the things we want to cover is why do you do what you do?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
You can give me whatever version you're comfortable with, but what is it that drives you? Is it a passion? Is it a sense of purpose? What?
Oh, it's all of it. I mean, I was born to do this. I'm I'm I fully believe in that because I went through a rough time, you know. I was very sensitive since I was younger and I went through certain traumatic experiences, big big or small, whatever you deem it. They were big for me at the time. And I was taught my whole life to stuff those things down and to not process them. I think most of us weren't taught how to healthily process our emotions. Um, and then eventually that caught up to me. And around like 2.5 years ago, I developed debilitating anxiety and depression.
Hmm.
And I thought that was like the end of my life as I knew it. And it kind of was in a positive way, but I thought so in a negative way at the time. So I was completely controlled by my emotions and my thoughts, and anxiety completely took over my life. I was scared like every moment of the day of anything you could think of that's generalized anxiety disorder. And that led to depression. But there was some part of me that knew that that wasn't my fate. There was some part of me that was like, this is not how you're meant to live your life. You're not meant to be depressed and anxious. It's just, it can't be. It can't be. So you either listen to that voice that's telling you the opposite, that's telling you that you're stuck and then this is your life and it's over, or you listen to the faint voice that's telling you that there's more to life and you are going to heal and this is all for a reason. So I listened to that voice. Even though I was depressed, I was completely, I don't even, it's so hard to put into words because I'm so far removed from that time in my life. But I had anxiety attacks every single day of my life at that point. And then I listened to that voice and I just kept searching and searching and searching for ways to heal, for reasons that I wasn't stuck in that. I wasn't meant to be stuck in that place. So I listened to podcasts, I researched articles, I read books, I watched YouTube videos, I spoke to a plethora of healers. I was not giving up. Every day it was an obsession of figuring out how do I get to the core of this? And I was studying myself like you study freaking history in elementary school, whatever.
Yeah.
So
You knew there had to be more. There had to be more for you. That wasn't the way you're supposed to live,
right.
right? That wasn't the way that you're supposed to feel. I can relate from my totally different circumstances and situation, but very similar feelings of being suppressed, being restricted, and being kind of fed a way to be that doesn't work with the true you, with who you really are on the inside. And you have that little voice. I know that little voice that's saying, this is not right, this is not the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I can totally relate to that. And thank you for sharing that. And continue on. If I haven't thrown you off too much, I'm sorry.
No, you haven't. I want to contribute. But yeah,
So you researched, you did your homework, you checked all different resources, you looked for tools to get yourself back onto the right path, and then what did you find?
well, the tools they came later, but in the beginning it was getting to know myself. Where is this coming from? What is the root of this? Why do I feel anxiety like this? Why am I miserable every single day? Where did this come from? So it was just this obsession of understanding why it was happening to me. It was also understanding how it was manifesting in my body scientifically, because I just need to know why for everything.
Yeah.
And then that led me to working with multiple different healers, with therapists, and essentially putting my healing first above everything else. I think that's the key for everyone who's looking to heal, is to put your healing first above everything else.
Yeah, because you can't help anyone else if you don't help yourself first.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you want to be a beacon of light, you got to become, you have to become that light so that you can spread that light to other people. And that's my whole mission now.
So your purpose, your mission now is to spread light and to help others.
Yeah. Yeah. To not be stuck in their heads so much, because it's, as we've talked about, depression and anxiety are both epidemics in the world. Anxiety is,
Absolutely.
it's a big one.
It's all over the place. A lot of people can relate. Brian, shout out to Brian. Shout out to Sisters in Psychology. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a segment, we're calling it Keeping It Real, Staying Alive edition, where we talk just with genuine human connection. We're building positive social support and collaborating with others. There are a lot of people spreading good information, good tools that we can use, all of us individually in our journey. Holistic Chris is one of those people. She's helping women with a lot of different tools, right? What are you using? What are the different tools that you use to help?
Well, my favorite of all is the breath. That has helped me so much in just gaining awareness of my patterns and my conditioning. And it's also helped me connect with myself. It's helped me to gain emotional intelligence, because when you're in a place where you're feeling like out of control, all you have to
Mhm.
do is bring yourself back to the breath. It's an anchor back to the present. And in that presence, you can be aware of what's happening. You can become the observer of your life. You can become the observer of your thoughts, of your emotions. And from there, you can decide what you want to do with those emotions or those thoughts, how you want to respond to them, rather than becoming like hooked onto them.
Yeah, awareness is tremendous.
Oh, yeah. It's where it all starts.
Yeah, the first step is realizing, hey, this has got to change. This is not right.
Yeah.
And then finding those paths that work for you.
Yeah.
So you said breath work's really powerful, right? That's one of your favorites. And is there a tool I like to ask everybody as we move forward? This is the first session. You're our first guest of honor, so thank you so much for being here. But I want to set this format as we'll offer a tool to everyone who's tuning in that they can take with them. So is there something you can teach us from your tool set in breathwork that we can take with us on our journey that can help us, that we can learn within a reasonable amount of time?
Hell yeah, I can. Okay.
Sweet.
So this is
Let's.
one method that I use whenever I'm feeling stressed or anxious. It always, like within seconds, it will change how I feel.
Mm,
So this is called the 4-7-8 breath. So anyone who is watching right now who wants to have a tool that will instantly help them, that this tool is free. You have it all the time. So if you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious, and you want to just calm your nervous system down, this is called the 4-7-8 breath. And I want you to make sure, I have chapstick. I want you to make sure that we're breathing from the belly, not from the chest, because so many of us are breathing from the chest, and that's activating our sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight. So that just increases your anxiety. So when you start breathing from the belly, also from the nose, that will calm down the nervous system. So 4-7-8 breath is simple. You just take a deep breath, counting to 4, hold it for 7 seconds, then release for 8 seconds, and make sure it's a low, slow release. When you take a deep breath and you release it and the release is longer than the inhale, that calms the nervous system. That's like a surefire way to calm down the nervous system.
I immediately felt it. I just, I gotta say, I'm drinking coffee, so it's amping me up. But as soon as I exhaled, I felt that like kind of a calming sense. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
super powerful stuff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, so remember that, breathing from the belly and breathing from the nose, because a lot of us don't do that. We're all mouth, chest breathers, and that's just increasing our anxiety.
It's amazing that something so simple that all of us have can be so effective at helping us repair our mental state, calm our nervous system, take control of ourselves, of our bodies, on even like a physiological level.
Of our minds too.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do with the training on the bag is a physical routine that has a dramatic effect on our mental health. And
Yeah, you tell me more about what your thing does for you. What does boxing training do for you?
Oh, well, for me personally, boxing training has changed my life. I mean, it's given me more self-confidence, more self-esteem, and it's given me a sense of validation, of self-validation that I haven't found anywhere else with any other tool that I've come across. Not that I know everything, I barely know anything in the scope of all things, But this thing I know about because I've been using it for 223 days consecutively. And every day that I do it, when you stick to a routine of it, it builds up in the mind and it gives you that internal validation that you can do more than you thought you could. And we've got comments coming in that look really interesting. So let me just.
Well, one asked you if you're going to do a session. He is doing a session at 8.
Oh, yes. Our live training session. Thank you so much. Our live training session is going to be happening at 8. This is our new.
My roommate joined. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
This is our new Keeping It Real, Staying Alive session where we make positive social connections and we all offer each other tools that we can use on our personal journey in mental health, recovery, and fitness. And yeah, that's what this is about. So we are still doing the live session at 8. If anyone wants to tune in, you can follow along at home. You don't need equipment. You don't need a bag. You don't need anything but to show up for yourself, and I'll be here to support you. We're going to do a 10-minute round of intense cardio workout, get the blood pumping, get the good feeling endorphins rolling, perk up your endocannabinoid receptors in the brain, and it's going to be a good physical exercise that'll benefit both your mental health and your physical health. So tune in later for that.
This is the thing. So I feel like both of what we do, because depression or anxiety or just like built up unhealed emotions can train your brain and your nervous system to be in a certain place of panic or of just like low energy. Doing these things every day builds a different system in your body, like a different way of expressing itself. Like it changes the brain. It changes the nervous system. So that's why I've come to realize the importance of habits, daily habits.
Oh, sorry, I've got a call. Someone's trying to call me there. Yes, daily routine, a daily habit is super important to the effectiveness of these tools. Making it a routine that's not a challenge, it's not a burden, but it's something you look forward to because you understand the relief that it gives you.
Yeah.
That structure and having that consistency makes a huge difference. And I just want to address some of these comments really quick. To Couch Elk, good evening from the UK. To Sisters in Psychology, the 4-7-8 breathwork technique is one that we just covered with Holistic Chris. In case you weren't here for that part, she showed us how to do that. She also has other ones, I believe, on her personal page on Instagram. And to Couch Elk, appreciate the beard. the beer jealousy. That's all good. And to Alberia now,
Albert.
thank you for the support, for the love. We really wanted to on Ghost Boxing. Yeah, yes, Shadowboxing. We're doing Shadowboxing at 8 p.m. if you tune in for that.
It's
And
time, by the
we
way.
were just talking about, yes, it will be live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Sisters in Psychology. And I think we're caught up. We're caught up. All right. So that daily routine is super important. And what were you talking about? We were talking about how it builds up in the mind with consistency. It's a huge part of to Giles 92. We're going to be doing some shadowboxing. I think we'll throw some elbows. We'll do some Muay Thai elbows in there today. But right now, this segment is for mental health tools that we can share on the mental health side of things. And then our segment at 8 is going to be that physical side where that physical routine will come into play. So you guys got it. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in and participating, by the way, and for Holistic Chris for being here. I just want to get back on that topic of consistency.
Yeah.
So what I've found in my personal journey with mental health, I went through a tough time where I wound up with a deep depression. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress-induced depression. So I didn't have it my whole life. It's something that was a result of events that happened. And I went to psychiatrists, I went to therapists, I went to doctors, I was on medication. And I got to a point with therapy where I knew that I wanted to help myself, and I knew that I had to do that. I had to show up for myself. I had to help myself. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started to look into different ways that I could help myself instead of trying to look for answers outside. I was trying to find ways that I could do it internally. And this is what I found for me, the boxing training. There's a guy called Tyson Fury. He was a heavyweight boxing champion of the world 2 times in a row. And he was born with depression. He's genetically predisposed to it. Mm-hmm. He actually felt like since he was a little kid, like he wanted to just end it, to kill himself. And boxing and setting a goal of becoming the world champion of boxing helped get him out of that depression. And then he went on to achieve his goal. But what he found was once he achieved that goal, he went into an even deeper depression. And he just wanted to end it all again. So what he found while he was in that space is that the training was the key, not the actual boxing, not the actual goal of getting that world championship, but in fact, the daily goal that he set for himself to train was what was keeping his mindset positive and healthy and confident. Like he did not need anything else. He was secure and solid in his foundation. So now he brings a kick bag with him everywhere he goes, and he gets a training session in every day because that's what keeps him going.
Every single day like you do.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, your audio is really low. Did something change?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
No. Let me cut this 80s synth music behind me because I don't think you guys can even hear it. It's probably just distracting me.
Does anyone have any
All right, it might have been
about what we're talking about, by the way? Feel free to ask anything.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think maybe it was that phone call that came in that threw my audio off. I don't know what happened. But I can kind of hear you. It's enough. We'll get by. What did you say? Every day? Was that the question?
I said he trains every day like you do.
Every day he trains with a kick bag. That's what the statement that he made. I don't know exactly what his routine's like or what he's doing. What we're building on is based on both my personal experience and the research that I've done on mental health, on boxing training's effects on mental health. And we're kind of combining a lot of different tools that I picked up to create the most positive, mutually beneficial relationship in the world. That's what we're building out here. I know we've talked before. I always mention mutually beneficial because it's so important, especially to anyone out there who's been growing up with this people-pleasing mindset where we put others ahead of ourselves. And that's like the great thing to do. It's so wonderful to put people in front of yourself. But the truth is, we shouldn't be selfish and greedy, and we shouldn't give everything away to everyone else, because then we have nothing left for ourselves. We've got to find the balance, right? And the balance is mutually beneficial. What's that? I didn't hear you.
I said, and what can you give if you don't have anything in you to give, because you haven't given to yourself first? So you can't pour from an empty cup into other cups.
And the life hack is the us mentality. You just flip that switch from I, me, or you and them to us. It's about us. Life is about us. It's about us making progress as a human species together, supporting each other, supporting each other's growth. So how does what I'm doing benefit us? That's my mentality from now on with everything that I do since the end of 2019. Said 2020 onward is going to be about us. And since I started doing that, things are only getting better and better and better. And it blows my mind every day how much like positive energy and beneficial things are being drawn into my life just from having this mindset. So that's something that we also kind of incorporate into Sack Life Official. It's all part of it. Social support, positive connection, mental health tools, consistent daily routine, us mentality, and other little tips and things that we pick up along the way to build this beautiful thing that we're building together, you know?
So tell the new people who joined what you do, because I know my followers.
Okay. So for anybody who's just tuning in, what I'm about is I've found that boxing training has saved my life. It's helped me to get to a point now where I don't need any other avenues. Thanks for joining. I don't need to rely on anyone other than myself. And that's the biggest part. It's brought me a self-validation, a self-worth, self-esteem that just improves every area of my life. So what I'm doing is I made a dedication. When I found how effective this was for me, I knew that I needed to share it with other people. That's the type of person I've always been. When I find something good, I want to share it with my friends, with my family. When I find something that's good, it's like something I enjoy at the core. I don't know why. But so I found this thing, this really powerful tool behind me, the sack. And I started hitting it every day. And I knew from the way it was changing my life, I need to share this with other people. So now I have a dedication to train every single day until depression's wiped out from the face of the planet. And every single night at 8 o'clock, I put on a live show where I train other people in their homes on boxing technique and form and what's called shadowboxing, virtual shadowboxing. And it's having an impact on other people's lives as well. And the coolest part about it is that I'm helping myself in a way that helps others. So again, it's about us. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's about all of us together getting stronger and wiping depression out from the face of the planet, because it's got no place. It's not based on truth at all. Depression and anxiety are both based on lies, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And this thing helps you find that truth inside yourself without words. The more you do it, the more you find out what you're capable of, how powerful you are, how much value you have, what you're worth. It gives you more self-worth. And that just escalates. And I'll tell you, day 223, I'm unstoppable. I'm like bulletproof out here. It's incredible. I'm batting 1,000 every time I swing. It's just like home run. It's crazy. So I want that for other people. I want that for as many people as possible, because it's given me a sense of fulfillment that nothing else has ever given me. So this is it. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. I don't have another job. This has to work. If it doesn't, I'll be homeless. And if I'm homeless, I'll still train every single night at 8 p.m. on the streets, in the, wherever I wind up. I'll be out there shadowboxing, because I don't need anything but myself and my phone. I'll have to find a phone, someone's phone with internet connection. That's it. So that's my promise to you, to myself, to everybody, that I will be here every single day until I'm dead, helping us grow stronger together forever. Yeah. How about Do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about or add to the show for my viewers who are tuning in? You want to give them an update on who you are and what you're doing?
All I want to say is that if you're looking for a change in your, sorry, if you're
Oh, I lost you.
changing your life, or you're looking to heal, or you're feeling kind of lost, um, all the tools that you need are within you. I know that sounds like some cheesy like guru line, but it's the truth. Like, yeah, you can have a sack and you can have, there are external things that will help you, but at the end of the day, you really have to be able to connect with yourself, come back to yourself every day, and self-love. That's where it all starts, you know.
Self-love conquers all.
Yes, when you do love yourself, then you want to put yourself first, and you want to do these things like heal and value growth above all other things.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that made any sense, but
No, it makes perfect sense. And just to add to that, one of the things that you find, one of the reasons why boxing training is beneficial to mental health is because it encourages a healthier lifestyle. Once you start making physical improvements to yourself by sticking to that routine, you start to want to do things that are going to better yourself in all other avenues of your life. So holistically, which I believe that's your whole deal, is holistic Chris, being this holistic healer. So once everyone has their own avenue, we all have our own paths. But if you start on this path of physical fitness with boxing training, it's going to help you to value yourself more and make healthier decisions in all areas of your life. So it's kind of like a gateway to self-love, self-worth, progress, self-reflection, and all things good. I mean, it's leading us together. We're all making new connections that are super, super beneficial for each other. And from my end, that's because of this.
Yeah.
From your end, it's something else. But we're all on similar paths, and it's looking good. The future's bright.
Yeah.
The best time of my life right now, quarantine.
I know that. I want to make it clear though that everybody's different, and there are multiple facets to your being, and like if you are depressed or you are dealing with anxiety, there's so many different factors to look into. That's why I'm all about the holistic world. So like dive deep into yourself and don't compare your situation to anybody else's. Like even if I had a similar childhood to someone else, it doesn't mean I reacted the same. It doesn't mean I have the same brain, the same DNA, the same experiences. Like you really have to get to know yourself. So the beginning of all healing starts with knowing yourself. You got to know yourself to heal yourself. So
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
that's
So I think we're going to wrap up, if that's cool, unless you have anything that you really want to get out there.
no, that's all. I think we said it all, Zachman.
All right. Well, I'm sure we haven't said it all. We could talk for, I could talk for the rest of my life about what I'm doing, and I'm sure you can feel the same way because it's your passion.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to growing personally. I'm looking forward to seeing you grow, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of us grow together on this path to better health, better society, and yeah, it's good for everybody. Mutually beneficial.
Mutually beneficial.
All right. Thank you so much, Holistic Chris, for joining us, for being our first official guest. And we're going to be signing off. And I'll catch anybody who's willing to come join the live session at 8 p.m. tonight for some virtual shadowboxing training as we beat depression together.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care.